To make the torso for the plastic doll jointed doll, you need to load the file called Everything Doll Joints from your torso folder. It should look like this. Stitch the die line for the torso. Take two pieces of fabric, one piece of fleece and one piece of doll jersey, and place it with the stretch perpendicular to the center line on your torso. Stitch the support circle for the head and also stitch the belly button. Grab this fabric panel and peel it up where the belly button is stitched and the head support circle is stitched. We'll set that fabric panel aside and then we'll tape some spare stabilizer over these holes that are left behind. Stitch the die line for the back. We'll cut 4 pieces of fabric, 2 fleece and 2 doll skin fabrics, and they will be the length of our torso, and I usually cut them about 4 to 5 inches wide and we're going to place them with the stretch perpendicular to the grain line on the torso. So a piece of fleece fabric first, then 2 pieces of doll skin and another piece of fleece. And we'll tape that in place over the shape that it's stitched for the last die line with that curvature. Stitch the tack down for the back and the butt. To reduce the bulk in the hoop, we'll just trim really close to this tack down line for the back and the butt, removing the layers of fabric, and make sure to leave a tab of extra fabric where the gap is here where the scissors are at. That extra tab of fabric, we'll need that to close our doll later on, but just kind of trim close to everything else. Now what we'll do is we will just unfold this panel that we have stitched, and you'll just pretend that that butt part is not even there. So you'll just unfold it flat and tape it in place. Stitch a tack down line to secure this fabric to your stabilizer. Stitch the 4 support circles for the arms and legs. Now we'll take the panel that we stitched first with the neck circle and the belly button, and we'll stick a straight pin directly into the center of the circle and just line it up to where we removed it from the hoop. Remember when we peeled up this panel, it left a hole in our stabilizer. So what I'm doing is I'm just using a straight pin to find the center of where it was to line it all back up. And the belly button just center with the line on the back. You'll see it whenever I fold this fabric panel back, that the belly button, you can just line it up right there on this line that you see. If you want to, you can use a straight pin, stick it in the middle of the belly button, and try to also line it up to where we removed it and it left the hole in the stabilizer so that everything is perfectly centered. Here I'm just showing you where I'm using the straight pin to line up the belly button and the circle for the head support, where I removed them from the hoop whenever we stitched the first step of our torso file. With the belly button and the head support centered, we're just going to tape this in place, remove the pins, and then we'll stitch the tack down. Stitch the final tack down line for the torso. Once we finish, we just remove the stabilizer and we're just going to cut around our torso close to the tack down line. Where the butt meets the crotch at the bottom, I'm just snipping this here with scissors so it's really close to the stitching so that it won't get hung up when we turn it right side out. And if you're making the Willow fairy, you're going to open up this seam right here, and right on the seam you can tape a doll magnet so that your fairy wings will stick to the back. So I'm just using a small magnet and Dr. Scholl's medical adhesive bandage, and I'm just going to tape that magnet right there at the beginning of the opening in the gap. And this tape will hold the magnet in place when we are stuffing our doll and it's all finished. Now all that's left to do is just turn the torso right side out. So on the front of the torso, all you'll see is just the head support circle and the belly button, but on the back side you'll see all the support circles for the arms and legs. In the next video, we'll put everything together and assemble it and finish up our baby.